Today I'd like to go into detail about all the creative ways you can use Brigitte's Whipshot ability. Brigitte's Whipshot is a projectile that fires in a straight line for 20 meters, and when it hits an enemy, it will knock them back and do 70 damage. One of the most valuable parts about Brigitte's Whipshot is its power to displace enemies. Displacement can have many forms, and I'll go into a couple of them here. One of the most valuable characters you can displace is Reinhardt. Reinhardt is the front line of any team, and if you can knock him away from his frontline position, it can create an incredibly valuable opening for your team. For example, if a Reinhardt is pushing last point Hanamura through main, you can whipshot him into the pit below, which will effectively take him out of the fight and kill him in a sense, for as long as he's down there. Another example is Temple of Anubis last point. You can boot the Reinhardt off the bridge as he pushes the point, which will almost always result in one fight for your team. I'll include some clips of me doing this from my stream at the end of the video. Of course, on other maps like Lijiang Night Garden, you can actually use the Whipshot to boot people off the map and kill them. It's important to keep in mind that in Overwatch, the momentum of a character you're whipshotting will affect the distance they go. For example, an enemy running towards you will be knocked back less than one that is running away from you. This carrying of momentum can cause issues if you don't take it into account. For example, another aspect of using the Whipshot to displace a Reinhardt is using it to set up Earthshatter combos. If you can get to the side of a Reinhardt and whipshot him, you can essentially give your Reinhardt a free Earthshatter. The thing is, you need to take the enemy Reinhardt's momentum into account. If the enemy Rein is moving towards you when you whipshot him, it'll mean you won't displace him far enough for your Rein to actually get a shatter. Now that I'm done talking about how you can bully Reinhardt with your Whipshot ability, let's talk about some of the other characters in the game. D.Va and Orisa are two characters that you should be careful with when whipshotting. If you whipshot them when they're shooting, they'll hardly move at all because they have knockback resistance when shooting. In Orisa's case, try and whipshot her when you see her reload, and for D.Va, look for when she's using her defense matrix. One of the things that Brigitte is especially good at is messing up a Winston's dive. A good Winston will just try and avoid you, but if you position yourself around the target that he wants to dive, you can whipshot him away mid-leap. Alternatively, if the Winston manages to land on his target, you can whipshot him out of his effective range, giving your teammate time to escape. Next up, I'm going to quickly run through some of the other basic interactions that Brigitte has with her Whipshot. Most of them follow the simple logic. If the enemy uses their ult or their movement ability, use Whipshot to nullify their ult or their positioning. If a Hanzo is firing his dragon into a grab, Whipshot him away to throw off his aim. When Zenyatta is trancing, he can be whipshotted away from his team or off ledges to kill him. A Genji that's blading into you or your team can be whipshotted after he's used his dash to ruin his ult. Whipshotting a McCree that's deadeyeing can oftentimes completely nullify his ult and save your team. If a Roadhog has hugged your teammate, whipshot him to throw off his aim entirely. Whipshot an ulting Reaper to get him away from your team and save them. A Lucio that's ulting can be whipshotted to delay his ult or even kill him if he ults over a pit. Whipshotting and shield bashing or meleeing a Riptire can kill it. You can use your Whipshot to displace Widowmakers from their high ground positions. That pretty much sums up all of the useful basic Whipshot interactions you can have in Overwatch. Keep in mind when you start comboing Whipshot with Shield Bash, there'll be even more possible plays, but I'll address that in another video. I'll leave you guys with some clips of me using Whipshot to displace enemies for my stream. I've left a link to my stream in the description if you want to check me out. I stream top 500 Brigitte play most days. Cheers!